October 31st, Halloween 2018. Camera person is Daniel Faulkner. Video and sound engineer and producer is Edward. Oh, Lynette, sorry. That's right. Yeah, today. Okay. Teleprompter and prompter is Myra. News anchor is Devin Harrison. Meteorologist is Hannah Faulkner. And this is news director Dan. And now the news.
Welcome to DC TV 4-ish Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can buy a sponsorship by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. Hi, I'm Devin, and here's a story from the Denver Post. Storms dumps 16 inches of snow on Colorado's southern mountains, more on the way. A storm that dampened Denver's morning community dropped substantial snowfall along the Front Range and Continental Divide 10 days before two Summit County ski areas opened for the season. The two ski areas that are open in the Front Range did okay, with Arapahoe Basin a report 4 inches of Loveland, 3 Keystone, and Breckenridge are scheduled to open November 9th. Mike Copperstein, a forecast for the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, said another storm is due to arrive Thursday morning with 2 to 5 inches in store for the northern mountains. It looks like it's going to come in on a northwest flow, so westerly slopes will get more, Copperstein said. This is kind of storm tends to favor areas from the flat tops between Steamboat Springs and Glenwood Springs. Although maybe 1 to 70, it looks like the biggest accumulation are going to be north of I-70. Another sign that winter is coming, the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, which is an excellent source for mountain weather conditions, will begin posting daily weather and avalanche forecasts on Thursday. This story is from the Denver Post. Thousands of abandoned mines dotting U.S. West, both alluring and dangerous for those who seek them out. Underneath the mountains and deserts of the U.S. West lies hundreds of thousands of abandoned mines, an underground world that can hold serious danger and unexpected wonder. They are a legacy of the region's prospecting past, when almost anyone could dig a mine and then walk away with little cleanup required when it stopped producing. In Utah alone, the state is trying to seal more than 10,000 open mines with cinder blocks and metal grates after people have died in a rock fall and all-terrain vehicles crash and from poisonous air over the past 3 decades. Just a month in Arizona, a prospector broke his left leg and ankle after plunging to the bottom of an old mine shaft. He spent nearly 3 days there with no food or water, fending off rattlesnakes before a friend heard his cries for help. Still, not everyone wants to see the mines closed. For years, a dedicated subculture of explorers has been slipping underground to see the tunnels lines with sparkling quartz, century-old rail cars, and caverns that open in the earth like buried ballrooms. Nobody has walked the path you're walking for 100 years, said Jeremy McLean, who used old mining documents and high-tech safety equipment to find and explore forgotten holes, most in Utah. He also lends his expertise to search for missing people. That's how he got to know Bill Powell, who looked for his 18-year-old son Riley for months before the teenager and his girlfriend were found dead in a mine shaft outside the small town of Eureka. The teens' families formed a close bond with MacLeay and other volunteer searchers. Despite his painful memories, Bill Powell decided to see what draws his friend to those deep recesses deep in the desert. It's a whole different life, the underground life, said Powell, who has gravely voiced, clothes cropped, gray beard, and a quick smile. On a recent day, he and MacLeay joined a group of friends in front of a mountainside opening near Eureka, wearing helmets, oxygen meters, and strong lights, and carrying a stash of extra batteries. Cool air blast from the opening cut through the desert heat. This story is from the Durango Herald. A woman spent 6 days in the Arizona desert after her car veered off a highway, surviving injuries from the crash and getting rescued after someone noticed a broken fence, authorities said Wednesday. The Department of Public Safety said 2 state transportation workers and a rancher were crawling a cow along the highway on October 18th when they saw a break in the fence outside the historic western town of Wickenburg, about an hour's drive northwest of Phoenix. As they inspected the damaged fence, they spotted a mango cart entangled in a mesquite tree. A DPS trooper responded but did not find anyone in the vehicle. The group followed human tracks to a riverbed for about 500 yards, 457 meters, and found a 53-year-old woman severely dehydrated with serious injuries. According to the trooper, the woman recounted how she was driving on the US 60 on October 12th when she lost control of her car. The vehicle went through the fence and dropped 50 feet, 15 meters, landing in the tree. She stayed inside her car for several days before trying to walk towards someone railroad tracks to find help, but she was too weak to make it. Authorities said she was airlifted to a hospital. DPS spokeswoman Quentin Muir said the woman is declining all media requests and did not give any details about her current condition. DPS Director Colonel Frank Milstead commended the transportation workers and the rancher. Due to their outstanding efforts, this woman's life was saved, he said in a statement. Next up is a story from the internet, I guess. Los Angeles-based Rebel Road Entertainment, a small independent production company, plans to film the opera Train, the Orphan Train, during January near Pagosa Springs, said Emily Shinot, operation manager. The film crew, many also spend days in Chama and Durango, she said. This film is expected to spend about 6 weeks filming in the area, and the crew will likely spend a significant amount a time on this set built on a ranch near Pagosa. Bertot said. Rebel Road Entertainment is behind another film shot in the area called The Great Alaskan Race, about 1,925 diphtheria epidemic in Nome, Alaska, and subsequent serum run by a dog sled team. Scenes of the film were shot in Silverton, Telluride, and Durango. The cinematographer and producer for The Great Alaskan Race, Mark Davis, is the director of the photography for he is Orphan Train. For the Orphan Train, he is hooked on the area. It is likely additional Rebel Road film will be made in the area, Bertot said. The Orphan Train is expected to have 60 speaking roles. Many of them feature extras, and the crew members will plan to visit Durango in November to recruit some extras. The film is recruiting 25 to 50 Native Americans extra and the stunt horse riders. The film is interested in Native American men, women, and children who speak their native language and/or have planned style clothing according to an announce in the Southern Ute Drum. Rebel Road Entertainment is also looking for 5 to 10 Caucasians and black actors and/or stunt riders. She says some stunt skills the company is looking for include shooting a bow and arrow while riding or falling off a running horse safely, she said. Those interested in roles may attend a casting call from 3 to 5 p.m. November 10th at the Strater Hotel in the Pullman Room. Send an RSVP to exconaut@rebelroad.com. RSVPs are encouraged but not required. Now for Dumb Laws with Hannah.
Don't try to do any kind of fancy bicycle riding in this town. Feeling like showing some Christmas spirit? Apparently in New Orleans, residential arenas are totally familiar with electric poles. Trying to save the rainforest? Horse may not be tied to the tree in a public highway. One may not host a game of marbles at Lafayette Square unless he or she first obtains a written permit from the Parkway and Park Commission. Chasing fish in a city park is against the law. Mardi Gras beads may not be thrown from a third-story window. City Commission members may not drink during a public meeting or risk a $50 fine. Snakes are not allowed within 200 yards of the Mardi Gras parade route. No smoking signs shall be placed on all floats used during the parade. No one may throw a bottle of Coke at a parade float. Television reporters may not throw candy at the crowd during a parade. You may not tie a horse to a tree on a public highway. Now for the weather report with our current weather data comes from a DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Duff Creek. The current temperature is 50 degrees. The high for today was 50 degrees. The low was 27 degrees. The bubble meter is at 30.4 inches and is rising. Humidity is at 33%. Wind is between 1 and 9 miles per hour from the east. Gusts have been up to 23 miles per hour. There are 1/100th of an inch of rain measured today by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 2 inches and 11/100th of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 7 inches and 1/100th. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. There is still rain along the Washington and Oregon coast. Rain mixed with snow is falling from East Washington and Oregon through Ohio and Montana. Regular snow is found in western Montana into Wyoming, then south in Colorado and on the Colorado-New Mexico border. Rain with thunderstorms is falling in south New Mexico and runs into Ohio and West Virginia and along the Gulf Coast in Alabama. Within this area of rain, the red color is warning the watch for flash flooding, and the yellow area indicates that severe thunderstorms are possible. More rain begins in Oklahoma and runs into Maine, but leaves the Atlantic coast clear. The Florida tip is barely dampened with rain and thunderstorms. Here is our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 51, low 31. Friday, mostly sunny, high 55, low 34. Saturday, mostly sunny, high 52, low 31. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 51, low 33. And then Monday, mostly sunny, high 49, low 29. Now for a climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide of moisture and hot and cool temperatures. But the general climate trend is the planet is slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 406.62. 2 weeks ago, 406 point nothing. Last year, 404.04. 10 years ago, 383.04. 50 years ago, 321.31. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our Kids News Show on air by buying a sponsorship. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now back to your news director.
That is the end of today's DCTV 4-H news show with the skull and crossbones being flashed in front of the screens. This is the news director, Dan, saying good night and thank you for watching.